Hey folks, I'm KARYSSA.
And I'm Nikki.
And welcome to New Strangeland. Hey folks, we hope you had a strange week. This week we're talking about the Isles of Shoals, not to be confused with Dr. Shoals.
Or the Isle of Souls.
Ooh, the Isle of Souls.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds creepy.
Isle of Dr. Shoals' souls.
It's like we're all like missing socks go.
Ooh, and that could be Dr. Shoals' soles of his feet.
Oh my god.
His soles.
Shoal.
Okay.
Shoal.
Anyways, we're talking about the Isles of Shoals.
Yes.
Tell us more.
Have you ever been to the Isles of Shoals?
No.
No? Do you know where they are?
Sure.
Okay. So the Isles of Shoals are a group of small islands and tidal ledges. They're about 6 miles off the east coast of Maine and New Hampshire.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, so growing up, my dad always told me this, and I tried looking it up, and I couldn't find anything on it, but he told me that, like, if you go to, so, like, the closest beach to us is, like, Hampton Beach, and I'm not sure if it's specifically Hampton Beach or maybe another beach in, like, New Hampshire, Maine area. If you go there on, like, a hazy sunrise morning, you can actually see the reflection of the Isles of Shoals in the sky.
Oh.
Like, it's just, like, the way that, like, the water and, like, the atmosphere
that's
are.
cool.
Yeah. So, but I couldn't find anything that said that, but I've heard, my dad said that, and I've heard, like, other
I
ye
feel
old
like
timers.
I kind of might have heard that. I don't know.
So,
Yeah.
I've been to the beach at sunrise, but it was never hazy enough for me to catch a glimpse, if you will. But, so the Isles of Shoals, they have been occupied for more than 400 years, first by fishing communities, and more recently, it's a site of, like, private homes, and there's a big seasonal hotel and a marine research facility, which I believed is owned by the University of New Hampshire. So, neat. The Rocky Islands, they were discovered in 1614 by Captain John Smith. Yes, the Pocahontas.
The Pocahontas.
John
Captain
Smith.
John Smith. Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, oh,
Okay.
all right. Neato.
Neato.
So, like, there's some cool historical things about the Isles of Shoals, but what I wanted to talk about is the Smuttynose murders. Smuttynose. It's a beer.
Yes.
They murdered over beer. If you're not from New England, I don't know if they have Smuttynose beer in anywhere else across the country.
I don't know.
But yes, Smuttynose is a brewing company.
I can never. Brewery.
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 Brewery. Yes.
Brewery.
If someone could
We
teach
say
us.
it and it's like brewery.
Anyways, you know, where they make beer.
Yes.
There you go. Beer making place. So, the Smuttynose murders, this took place in 1873 on Smuttynose Island, which is part of the Isles of Shoals. I believe Smuttynose is the largest island, or one of the largest islands. They're actually all, like, pretty fucking small. Like, you would like some of the actual islands, you'll go there and it's like you're just standing on a giant rock, basically.
Oh, I want to go.
So, yeah, let's go. Let's go. We'll take a canoe.
A canoe.
Oh my god, I would die if I had to take a canoe out on the ocean because
yeah, I don't know. How do you get out there?
I'm pretty sure they have like some sort of like ferry
Okay.
that takes you out there.
I figured, but
And
you just have to swim a canoe.
Oh my god, when I see people like kayaking in the ocean, I'm
Yeah.
like, no.
No.
Do you have a death wish? Sometimes like, especially, like the kayaks that like you cinch up in, like so you don't get water in. I think about them like capsizing and then you can't get out and you're stuck and then a shark comes and bites your head off.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens
And that's how you die.
Every time.
Every single time. Anyways, there was murders that happened.
Anyways, not by sharks.
There's murder afoot. So, it's actually one of New England's most grisly and mysterious murder mysteries. Oh. So, we're gonna start off with one of our main characters here, Louis Wagner. Yeah, so Louis Wagner, he was like a loner, and he was like barely making a living in the fishing industry in Maine and New Hampshire, and he predominantly like did all of the fishing off the Isles of Shoals, and he had really good luck and met this awesome couple from Norway. Yeah, that's where they're from. Yeah, I almost said Sweden. But in Norway, John Honvet and his wife, Maren. And the Honvets were, like, super sweet people. They had a house on Smuttynose. And John was, like, a really successful fisherman. And for over 2 years, they kind of took in Louis Wagner and, like, made sure that he had work. Like, they would invite him over for family dinners and just, like, kind of treated him like part of the family,
Right.
basically. And unfortunately, this could have been one of their biggest downfalls.
Uh-oh.
So, going back to the Honvents, they arrived from Norway in 1868, and they're the only people living on Smuttynose Islands.
Can you, like, live there now?
There's vacation homes there, but I don't think that they're full year.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know how electricity works out there.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, and I don't know, living out in the middle of the ocean in like the dead of winter.
Nope.
That's
true. It reminds me of like when the Dursleys go to that island and take Dudley and Harry.
And they're in the rowboat.
Yeah, and like then it's just like the waves
Oh my
crashing
God.
about and like it's just terrible. I'm like, that's what I would picture in the
Oh
winter.
my god. Yeah. No thank you. No thank you.
Nope.
So John had a schooner, the Clarabella. I'm like, oh, that's so cute, but I kind of like pictured a more Norwegian name. But okay, Clarabella it is. And so on the Clarabella, him and Louis, they would go on the fishing grounds and do trawl lines, whatever that means. And they'd go like around Portsmouth, New Hampshire, that is. And they would sell fish bait, and they would basically do that all day and then go home, and Maren would have food ready for them. I think I'm saying that right. Maren, Maren.
I think Maren.
Yeah, okay. All right. I don't know if it was like more. No, it wouldn't be
Maren.
Maren. I'm going to say Maren.
Marinate.
Maren 8. So when they got home, Maren, she was like a small woman, but she wasn't frail, and she was just like the sweetest thing in the world, apparently. She always, like, the house was like perfect, and she always had like plants lining the windows, and like she just kept the home very homey and lovely. And yeah, so it just sounds nice. Like, they would just, John and Lewis would just go fishing all day, come home, Marin would be like, I made some stew.
I made some stew.
And they would have a nice time. Not sexually.
Oh, okay.
In case you were wondering.
I wasn't, but okay.
All
Good
right.
to know.
So, Marin and John were very content with their life that they made on Smuttynose, but they did miss their families in Norway. And so after a couple years, her sister came to stay with them. Oh. Guess what Marin's sister's name is? Karen.
No. Marin and Karen.
Yeah.
Huh.
Marin and Karen. So, yeah, Karen came to stay in 1871.
All right.
And she actually had come to stay because it's kind of sad. She lost her lover.
Oh.
Yeah, and she was like real depressed. So she's like, Sissy, I need love.
I need to go to Smuttynose.
I need to Smuttynose. So she went and stayed with her sister, which was very nice.
Yeah.
But she actually ended up getting a position as a live-in maid on Appledore Island, which that's the largest island on Isles of Shoals.
Okay.
So I believe Appledore is where the hotel is.
Okay.
So we can go to that hotel.
Okay.
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 In 1872, Lewis was still working with John and stuff, and he's like more part of the family than ever, and they're like, oh, we love you. But in October of that year, John found himself with more help than he needed. His brother Matthew came to Norway to live on Smuttynose, and
came from Norway.
Came from Norway.
You said came to Norway.
Oh, came from Norway.
Yeah.
To live on Smuttynose. And also Matthew brought Marin's brother, I almost said Morin, Marin's brother, Ivan. Now there's a good Norwegian name. And his wife, Anith. I believe I'm saying that correctly. So John kind of had to let Lewis go because it's his brother and his brother-in-law. And
right.
Yeah, he gave them a job to help him.
See you later.
Sorry, Lewis. And Lewis still stayed on with them for like 5 weeks, just to like, because they're like, oh, like get yourself on your feet and stuff, blah blah blah. Like no rush. We're not like trying to be like bye, you know. They're nice ass fucking people,
right?
So, so he left eventually after 5 weeks, and he started working out of like Portsmouth. Yeah, he started working out of Portsmouth, but he was not making a whole heck of a lot of money there. Mm-hmm. He could barely pay board and like eat and have clothes basically.
Poor Lewis.
Yeah. So, and he just had like a really shitty winter that year because of it. So after this shitty winter, John, his brother Matthew, and brother-in-law Ivan, they set sail on the morning of March 5th, 1873, and they went out to Portsmouth to buy bait and, you know, do some fishing.
Fishing stuff.
Fishing. And they actually like ran into Lewis.
Oh.
And so Lewis was like, oh, like,
how you doing?
Yeah. And they're like, oh my God.
It's Lewis.
Yeah. So, but like that was pretty much like their extent of, their meeting. And they were planning to be home like late at night, basically.
Yeah.
And they sent out a message to, Marin and Karen to let them know that they wouldn't be home till late.
Yeah.
And so the brothers and John are off, doing fuckery. And
gallivanting.
So Lewis, he saw that Clarabella was docked in Portsmouth, like still docked.
Yeah.
And at 7:30 that evening, Lewis was last seen in Portsmouth, and he was at like a bar, and he like had like one drink, and then no one saw him after that.
Uh-oh.
So basically, what is believed what happened is he went and took a rowboat and rowed down the Piscataqua River.
Yep.
Or it's a dory, not a rowboat. I don't know the different types of boats.
I don't know. A dory?
A dory. Yeah. I don't know. It has no memory. But, yeah. I hate myself, I know.
Me too. It's okay.
So he went on the Piscataqua River with his dory. And he did the 12-mile row to Smuttynose. And before you give me that look and you're like, what the fuck? He rode like 12 miles. So I looked into this more because I'm like, that sounds like
a lot.
Yeah, like seriously, like what the fuck? Like, is this guy like lifting every day to do this?
But it was it downriver.
So
yeah.
It was not only downriver, but the way that the tide is, it like he really didn't have to do a lot of work,
right,
to row out there,
right.
So it is possible. Ha ha ha. So he did the 12-mile row. Yes. He gets to the Smuttynose, and then the Smuttynose. So, and it's the three women. So Marin, Karen, and sister-in-law Anith. Yes, I remembered her name. Good.
Good.
And they're chilling at the house. It's around 10 o'clock at night, and because they're still waiting for
right.
the guys to come. They're like, oh shit, they said they're gonna be home late, so we're gonna wait up for them. But they change into their gym jams, and Marin fixed a bed for Karen in the kitchen. And Marin and Anith retired to an adjoining bedroom.
Oh.
So
adjoining.
Oh. So okay, so fucking Lewis, he was watching the cottage. Because he knew the guys weren't home.
Right.
And he was just like, yo, John is making good ass money.
Yeah.
He must have money.
Right.
For me to steal.
Right.
So that was his whole motive.
Okay.
For going there. So he's, watching like kind of the lights dim and stuff. And after he was confident that the women were asleep, he trudged up the slope in his heavy rubber boots to the door of the house. He tried the door and found it was not bolted. But, who would lock their door if you're the only person that lives on an island?
True.
So, I don't...
Yeah. I mean, you have to get
and especially
boat,
if you're, like, waiting for...
your husband.
Yeah.
And whatnot.
So, yeah, I don't blame them. And in the darkness of the kitchen, he closed the door behind him and jammed a piece of wood in the latch of the bedroom, which that was Marin and Anith were sleeping. So, like, he basically was trying to, like, lock them in. So, like, they wouldn't come and find him stealing. But he didn't know that Karen was sleeping in the kitchen. And so Karen wakes up and she's like, "Yo, John, is that you? You home?" And Marin hears her sister, and Marin's like, "Karen, what's up?" Sorry, the rhyming of the names is getting me so bad.
Karen.
And Karen's like, "Oh, John just scared me. Like, it's fine." Like, thinking that Lewis is John.
Yeah.
And so with that, like, Lewis, like, reached for a chair and he freaking smashed her with a chair.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and he kept hitting her with a chair.
Ooh.
Yeah. And Marin, like, can hear all this, like, going on. And, you know, she's trying to open her bedroom door, being like, "What the fuck is going on, Karen? Oh, no." And Karen's, like, you know, trying to, like, fight off Lewis and stuff. And, yeah, she's, like, basically pretty battered, bleeding. And falls on the ground. Like, basically unconscious. And the latch on the door that he kind of just jimmied in there, it came undone. And so Lewis, he comes at them both, and both Marin and Anith, and he hits both of them with the chair.
Oh boy.
And somehow Marin grabs Karen and, like, drags her back so she's, like, out of reach, and, like, she closed the door and, like, barricades it in so Lewis can't get in.
Right.
Obviously they're, like, scared shitless, and like, Anith was, like, stuck in the corner of her room because she's, like, fucking scared as shit.
Yep.
And they're, like, telling her, like, "Oh, go, run, hide, whatever." And so Anith climbed out the window, and she's barefoot in the snow. Mm-hmm. She is scared as shit. And Marin's like, "Run, run, run, like, go."
But, like, and where's she gonna go?
Just anywhere to hide.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what kind of vegetation is on this island to hide or what. But it was too late. Lewis had given up trying to enter the bedroom and left the house.
Oh, no.
Yep. He goes up to Anith, and Anith recognizes him. Like, this is the first time that any of them are, like, actually seeing his face. Right. Because, you know, Karen was in the dark in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And Anith starts yelling, "Lewis, Lewis," like, yelling his name so they realize who it is, too.
Yeah.
And Marin looks through the window and sees that it's Lewis, and she's just like, "What the fuck? Like, we treated you like our own. Are you kidding me?" And so Anith is, like, standing there, like, you know, like, arms outstretched, trying to, like, fend off any future strike that he's gonna do. And Lewis reaches for the woodpile and grabs the handle of an axe. In one swift motion, he raised the instrument high and drove the blade into Anith's head.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. She died instantly.
Right.
As one does when they get smashed in the head with an axe.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
And he kept whacking at her, too. Oh. And Marin is watching this through the window.
Right.
Like, what the actual fuck? And she, like, Marin said, like, he was so close to her through the window that she felt like she could, if she opened the window, she could reach out and touch him.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So it wasn't like a from a distance thing. It was up close. So Marin realized that Anith could no longer be helped, unfortunately. So she was just like, okay, I have to save myself. I have to save my sister. So she went to the bed, and Karen was kneeling with her head on the mattress, and because she's all, still fucked up and shit.
Right.
And Marin's like, come on, Karen, we gotta go. We gotta run. Dude, Marin, dude, she's like really going ham through this.
Yeah.
And her younger sister was like literally about to faint, and she's just like kept being like, no, too tired, like clearly concussed and stuff.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, outside, Lewis completed his butchery,
right,
if you will. And then he returned to the bedroom door with the axe.
Oh boy.
Yes. So Marin was just like, in her brain, she's like, we're both fucked if we stay together. No, like, if we stay together, we're both gonna die.
Yeah.
So she like wrapped herself in a heavy skirt, and when she heard Lewis enter the house, she climbed through the window into the bloodied snow and closed the window behind her, leaving her sister in the room.
Oh, no.
And then she just ran barefoot. There's like ice on the ground, so like, that always like gives me like the stingy pains.
I know.
But she must have had so much adrenaline pumping through her
like,
that
it
didn't matter.
Yeah.
And she expected to find Lewis's boat in the cove, which, like, I guess that's usually where they put their boats.
Yeah.
And it wasn't there, because her plan was like, I'm gonna jump in his boat and fucking row. And she didn't see it. She saw the boat wasn't there, so her first impulse was to hide in the cellar of a vacant building close by. But then she thought better of it, thinking that Lewis would be thinking the same thing, and come find her, and then she'd be trapped. Dude, this girl, she's like the survivor in a horror movie, man. Like, it's wild. So she goes, like, she kind of makes like a big like loop around, and she hears Karen getting fucked up.
Oh no.
Yep. So that's pretty hard. And meanwhile, back at the house, Karen, she tried to go through the window.
Yeah.
And Lewis came into the room. He missed at first, and his axe went into the windowsill, and the handle broke.
Okay.
And, like, Karen's just absolutely exhausted, so she just kind of, like, almost, like, gives up, basically. Yeah. And so Lewis ends up strangling her with a handkerchief.
Okay.
Yeah. So then, he looks around the room, realizes Marin's gone.
Right.
Not in the room. So he went around looking for her. But everywhere he went on the island, he was literally leaving bloody foot trims. Footprints.
Right.
Like, so she would be able to see where he was. Right. So it's not like he could, like, sneak up on her.
Right.
So he kind of just, like, abandoned hope of finding her, like, especially in the dark. So he went back to the house, dragged Anith's body by the feet in the kitchen, and then he made himself some tea.
Right, as one does.
Yeah.
After
and he ate their food.
Okay.
And then, so he ransacked the house.
Was he waiting for the men to come back?
No, he was just tired. I don't know.
Just I'm lit tired.
So he and then he, like, took this time to actually ransack the house. He found $15.
Wow.
All of this for $15 fucking dollars.
What an asshole.
Dude. Right?
Wow.
So, yeah. So he left Anith's body in, the kitchen. And he left the house a little after 1 a.m.
Okay.
So basically this whole thing happened over 3 hours?
Right.
Yeah, 3 hours. So Marin still hiding on the island. And she doesn't come out till like 8 o'clock in the morning.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah. And there was workmen on the neighboring island.
Yeah.
And she's like trying to get their attention and like being like, help, like, but like they don't really see her. And do, do, do. Oh, okay. And then she's like waving her arm because apparently these islands are really fucking close. Like to be able to see, like, oh, I can see your island very well. Hello, island.
Hello.
So, she waves her arms at the Appledore Island, and there's a group of kids playing, and they saw her. So, and they alert their dad. Jorge. Well, no, I think it's just George because their last name is Ingerbredsen.
Okay.
Yes. George Ingerbredsen. George? Maybe it's George.
I don't know.
So George he rows out to Marin and he brings her back to his house. And he, like, gathers the workmen and guns to search the island for Lewis. And when they get to the island, they obviously see the bodies of Anith and Karen. And they're like, what the fuck? So they go back to Appledore Island and they search there just in case he went back there for whatever reason. And a couple hours after that, the Clarabella is spotted on the horizon.
Jeez.
So, you know, there's John and the gang finally coming back.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. But yeah, so they come, and they manage to signal the Clarabella to come to Appledore Island so they can, you know, let them know what happened and they're not just coming home to see some dead bodies. Yeah. So, Ivan, because his wife was Anith, is just, you know,
obviously.
Like, where the fuck is she?
Yeah.
And, like, he's, like, asking Marin where she is, and all she can say is, Anith is at home. Like,
right.
Because she can't even, like, get it out that she died.
Right.
So Ivan and Matthew, they go over to Smuttynose and they see everything. And yeah, they're obviously pretty fucking upset.
Yeah.
So, and they then they later that afternoon, they're like, what happened on Smuttynose came back to Portsmouth, and everyone in Portsmouth knew. And it spread super fast because that is some dishy-ass shit.
Yeah.
And a description of Lewis Wagner was telegraphed to the police and all the coastal states. And, like, literally his face was plastered everywhere and all the details of what had happened. And, yes. So, two men, both of who knew Lewis, they like read what happened. They read the description and they're like, oh, we saw him in Newcastle about 6 a.m. And the stolen dory that he had was found in Newcastle in a place called Devil's Den, by the way.
Devil's Den.
Ooh. So Lewis, he went back to his boarding house actually, and he changes out of his clothes and he grabs a 9 a.m. train for Boston. And he purchased some new boots, new set of clothes, and he dallied with some women he knew at the boarding house.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, this guy's a fucking psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and John kind of knew where Lewis used to, like, hang out and stuff, especially in Boston. So he informed the Boston police of, like, you know, check here, here, and here for him. And he was arrested later that day.
Wow.
So, yeah. he was transferred from a jail in Boston to Portsmouth. And, oh man, like, he was followed by a crowd of 500 people.
Wow.
Yeah. Just, like, pissed off. Like, I picture, like, pitchfork and, like, torches. Like, yeah. So, yeah, it's reported that a crowd of 10,000 people filled the street of Portsmouth and trying to tear him to pieces.
What?
I don't know. I feel like that's a little excessive, but
10,000 seems a little high, but you know.
Yeah. So, Smuttynose was actually in the jurisdiction of the state of Maine, though. And so Lewis would have to be on trial there. And so 3 days later, he went there, and a lynch mob of over 200 fishermen from the islands were waiting.
Oh, wow.
Oh, dude, yeah. He definitely fucked with, like...
Oh, yeah. Fucked with the wrong people.
Yeah, because John and Marin were so fucking nice and well-known in the community.
Yeah.
That, like, how dare.
How dare.
Yeah, so he had to get police escorted, and Marines from the Navy were called.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and the escort was showered with stones and bricks. So, Lewis's trial started on June 9th in 1873, and after 9 days of testimony and 55 minutes of deliberation, he was found guilty as charged. He broke out of jail within a week.
What?
Yeah, but he was recaptured in New Hampshire. And on June 25th, 1875, 27 months after the crime, Lewis was led into the yard of the state prison in Thomaston, Maine, and hanged.
Oh.
Yeah. Marin and John never lived on the Isles of Shoals again. They moved to Portsmouth, and John continued to work as a fisherman. Ivan, who is married to Anith, he could not bear to leave the neighborhood where him and Anith spent so many happy times, and he worked as a carpenter on Appledore Island, and so he could never be out of sight of the cottage, which robbed him of his happiness. Oh my god, that's so sad. And he never spoke unless spoken to. And at the end of the summer, he returned to Norway and was never heard from again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Poor Ivan. So, yeah.
Wow.
Those are the Smuttynose murders.
Wow.
What'd you think of that shit?
Crazy.
Dude.
$15 fucking dollars, man.
Yeah, for $15.
You could have just literally been like, give me all your money.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure that they would have handed it over to him.
Right?
Or either that, I bet the woman would have been like, oh, Lewis, what's wrong? Are you, like, hard up on shit? Like, oh, come hang out with us. Like, they probably would have just helped him out.
Right. Like, if he had gone there and just been like, hey, guys, sorry to bother you, but I'm having, a hard time right now. Is there any way you could help me out?
Yeah.
Instead of like, hey, I'm murdering you for your $15.
Right? It's wild. I'm like... It could have been so prevented.
Yeah.
So, on his part.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah. What a fucking
especially,
dick.
because, he knew these people. These people already, basically bent over backwards for him. And, clearly cared for him.
Yeah, exactly.
So, they would have helped him. Fucking Lewis.
Fucking Lewis.
Piece of shit.
Piece of shit.
But yeah, so let's go to Isles of Shoals.
Okay.
Let's not, axe murder anyone or get axe murdered.
You're not gonna murder me?
No.
For my $15?
For your $20? Maybe.
Oh,
but
okay. I'll make sure I only carry a 10.
I have $10. No axe murdering for you. Suck it.
Wow.
But yeah.
Huh.
So.
I didn't realize that happened.
Yeah.
Didn't know it. That was...
I didn't know the whole
Is
story.
that obviously why the beer is called Smuttynose?
I don't know. I don't know if Smuttynose beer...
it's Smuttynose Island.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's named
So,
after...
The island, yeah, but obviously, yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think it's named after the...
It's not named after the Murderous?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Not that. But, yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I think Smuttynose is an IPA. That's probably why I've never had any.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I don't like IPAs.
I mean, I don't drink beer, so.
Yeah. IPAs are, like, nasty. And they make me make that noise. Don't like. But, yeah. So, I don't know. There's some other happy things that happen on those islands, too. But I didn't research the happy things.
Just the death.
Just the death. I'm here for the death, thank you.
Poor. Man.
Dude.
Axe to the head.
Oh,
Lizzie
right?
Borden, fucking A.
Oh my god. Yeah, wait, shit. When did Lizzie Borden happen?
I don't remember.
It was 18... I think that was in the 1860? No, 18... It might have been around the same time.
Oh, man. What's up with these axes?
I don't know. Well, technically Lizzie Borden was
1892.
Oh, okay. So we got, almost 20 years before Lizzie. So.
Yeah, so Lizzie took inspiration.
Yeah. She got her inspo from the Smuttynose murders.
Yeah.
But I think that's, really cool that, literally wherever he went, people were in, an uprising.
Yeah.
And they were like, fuck you! And they're, ready
Right.
to kill him.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm like, hell yeah.
Nice.
I wonder what would have happened if they did get to him.
They would have murdered him.
Oh, yeah. They would have, dragged him out to sea, basically.
Put some concrete or whatever the fuck. See you later.
Did they have concrete in 1873?
I don't know. Something heavy? An anvil?
An anvil? An anchor?
An anchor.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know why every time, I know, an anvil is, an actual thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're looking at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah, but why would a fisherman have an anvil on his boat?
I wasn't thinking fishermen. I was just thinking, in general. But, I mean, not that a lot of people have anvils.
I don't know.
Where do you get an anvil?
The anvil store.
Oh,
Duh.
okay.
But I always, I know they're real, but, I always feel like my brain just makes it the Looney Tunes cartoon.
That's what I was thinking.
Drops from the sky.
Yep.
And smushes, Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, exactly. Except it's, tied to Lewis. And
yeah. It's
but also could be an anchor.
It makes a little whistling noise. Except it's in the water. And then he drowns.
I feel like they would have concrete in 1870.
I don't know.
Something like that.
I don't know.
They have to have,
Well, I don't think the
buildings.
thought of concrete shoes, the mafioso, oh, we're gonna put concrete shoes on you and throw you in the river. Because that's what my brain went to when you said concrete. I don't know if that's what you meant.
I was just thinking a concrete square with a chain around his
Oh,
ankle.
I don't know why. Maybe it's because I've been watching The Sopranos.
Do they do that in The Sopranos?
No, but it's kind of like a. I feel like it's a mafioso a trope, murder trope. Oh, we're gonna give him some concrete shoes and he sleeps with the fishes.
Sleeps with the fishes.
I'm also doing the quintessential Italian hand right now. Just, with your fingers together, just
the chef's kiss.
The chef's kiss. Nah. The gabagool, I like The Sopranos, by the way. It's my first time watching it.
Haven't you been watching it for a while?
I know, and I keep stopping and then starting again. Well, I'm not restarting, but just picking up. So, like, I'll watch, like, 5 episodes and then not watch another episode for, like, 6 months. And
yeah,
then
I was going to say, like, I feel like this has been ongoing. You've been talking about it on and off for a while.
Yes. So, I'm almost done the 3rd season. Yes. Which, shit's gonna long.
I've never seen it, so I don't know.
Oh, man. It's, like, I don't know. I feel like it's definitely worth a watch because it's, like, the first big, like, HBO show, or, like, any show of, like, that caliber was The Sopranos.
Yep, I remember.
So, I remember. So, yeah. No, I really enjoy it so far.
I really enjoy it so far.
It's very good. Apparently, they're supposed to make a movie, and, you know, like, James Gandolfini.
Yes.
Like, and how he passed away a couple years ago, and his son is supposed to play his character, like his real life son.
Oh.
Is supposed to play his character, like a younger version of his character.
Oh, cool.
Which I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like,
that's cool.
Hell yeah. Also in the show, his son in the show, AJ, he wears a bunch of cool metal shirts, and there's actually a Twitter dedicated to his metal shirts.
Oh, wow.
I can't think of what it's called, but I think it's just like AJ Soprano's shirts or something.
AJ Soprano's shirts.
But yeah, like there's like episodes where he's like wearing like a napalm death shirt and stuff.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, Zach.
Wow.
Oh my god, yeah, actually one of the episodes I watched recently, he was listening to Cannibal Corpse. I was like, okay.
All right.
Okay, AJ. Okay, AJ. AJ, okay. But yeah, so anyways, enough about The Sopranos.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. So them was the Smuttynose Murders.
Smuttynose Murders.
And Lewis is Dick. And
Lewis is Dick?
Lewis is a dick.
Oh,
Lewis
okay.
is Dick.
I'm like, I don't remember that part.
Featuring Lewis is Dick.
Don't remember that part of the story. I mean,
it was attached to him, so I guess it was involved somehow. It was there.
It was present.
Yeah, it was like, you know, like an extra in a movie.
Oh, God.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
right.
Yep. So, I also learned that I could row a boat to Smuttynose.
Yep.
I wonder how going back was, though. Like, how long it took him to row back. Well, it said that he got back at, like, they saw him in Newcastle at 6. So,
and
shit.
He left at 1.
So, yeah, it took him, like, 5 hours.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, like, do you remember how long it took him to get there? Did it say?
It said, I think it took, like, about 3 hours.
I was going to say maybe, like, 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I would think 12 miles, if you're maybe, I guess, like, going again, like, it's not easy, maybe 6 hours. But,
dude.
So going downstream would make sense if it was 3.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, it took him about 3 hours to get there.
Yeah.
And 5 to get back.
Right.
But, dude, it's fucking wild.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just can't get over the fact that, like, it was just over something fucking $15.
Right? Like, $15.
Like, especially to find that out after you've already, like, murdered. Was it just Aneth, or did he already murder Karen and Aneth?
Oh, he already murdered Karen and Aneth.
Okay, yeah. So to find that out, yeah, because then Marin was off, and so so to find that out afterwards. It's probably why he had the cup of tea. He was probably like, "Fuck my life."
Right?
Well, I might as well have some cup of tea because I just fucked up my life.
He's like, why did I choose poorly tonight? I chose very poorly.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. And then it's just, like, it's also so shitty to, like, go and steal. Like, I mean, it's shitty to steal, but to steal from, like, someone, like, people that, like...
You stayed, like, for how many years?
Yeah, like, 2 years.
Yeah,
and
that's a long fucking time. And then to all of a sudden snap and just fucking murder people?
Yeah. That's so shitty.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
He's
sense
bad
of it.
man.
Bad man. Shame.
Shame. Shame on you. You're a bad man.
You bad man.
But yeah, I don't know. That's all I got.
That's all we got.
That's all I got. So all she wrote.
That's all she wrote for the Isles of Dr. Shoals.
the Isle. It kind of sounds like the Isle of Dr. Moreau too. Like when you say like the Isle of Dr. Shoals, I'm like the Isle of Dr. Moreau, and then like he had like weird like creatures on there, so I just picture like weird feet.
Weird feet.
Like,
weird feet creatures.
Yes. Or like regular creatures but with human feet. Or humans with animal feet.
Ooh, that's creepy.
Like hooves.
What's creepier? Animals with human feet.
Animals with human feet.
Yeah, I was gonna
absolutely.
Feel like
110%.
I guess it depends on the feet. Like if humans had like bird feet, it's kind of
I don't
creepy.
know. It's creepy, but
I'm
somehow
picturing, like,
less
the
creepy.
Size of bird feet on a human.
Oh, okay.
But if you picture it regular size, it is a little less creepy. But well, either way, even if you had like miniature human feet on a bird versus like regular size human feet on a bird, it's still creepy either way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I don't know why. I just like went to like a dog or something, just like with 4 human feet.
No.
I'm pretty sure
That's creepy.
there's an episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force
Probably.
where I think Meatwad gets a dog, and the dog is like really fucked up, and like, but it pretends like it's a regular dog to Meatwad, but to everyone else it's
I feel
like
I remember this.
and it has like human feet, and it's creepy.
Oh, because I just like also just imagine like it's like to the ankle.
Yeah.
There's no joint.
Yeah.
And it's all the way up. Like no leg part of the dog or anything. It's just, you know what I mean?
Oh, I'm picturing the leg, but just like the foot.
Oh, see, I was just literally picturing like ankle to torso.
Oh.
No joints.
Like a dachshund?
Yeah, kind of. But
Except
like
with
there's
human
no
feet?
joints.
Yeah.
Just the feet connected to torso.
And what size are these human feet? Like I'm picturing
normal, regular human size feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
Tell us what you think. Do you like it? Or do you dislike it?
I hope you dislike it.
If you like it, I need more information. Why? Start with why.
Start with why.
And then who?
Who?
Who are you to like such a thing? But all right.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming today. I feel like every time I go to end, I sound like I'm gonna cry.
A little bit.
I'm so happy.
Thank you for joining us on this journey.
But we appreciate you listening to us, and we really hope that you enjoyed this episode.
Now I don't know what you said. We really hope that you enjoy this episode.
I think I'm trying to sound like Moira from Schitt's Creek. I don't know why.
Oh.
But sometimes I like talking like her. She has such a fun cadence.
I don't like it.
Aw,
Oh,
Carissa.
no.
But yes. So, as always, email us if you have any questions, comments, concerns. That's the other word. I was like, Q-tips.
Questions, comments, Q-tips.
At newstrangelandpodcast@gmail.com. And you can follow us on the Instagram at New Strangeland Podcast. Yes, okay. And you can slip and slither into those direct messages.
Direct messages.
And also the Tweeter bird.
The Tweeter bird.
We're on the Twitter. where birds carry magical messages across the Ethernet.
Yes.
Yes. And that's New Strangeland. No podcast. I always have to make that clear.
Clear. In case, anybody ever goes there.
Yes. I sometimes go there myself. And then I stare at our 4 tweets and I say, great job.
Good.
Good. So happy. But yes. I almost said I love you.
We love you.
We love you. I love you. You're special. Hope you are so snuggled like a burrito right now. I want to be snuggled like a burrito.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
It does. But yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope you come back next week.
Yes. We'll see you then.
So thanks for visiting.
Thanks for visiting
New Strangeland.